Imagine, for a second, pouring your entire fortune into a company that top industry experts practically guaranteed would fail. You're risking absolute financial ruin, taking a massive bet on a market that honestly barely even exists yet. And then, against all odds, that guaranteed failure transforms into one of the most valuable, historic business empires on the planet. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today we're mapping out the shocking and relentless rise of Tesla and Elon Musk. Let's dive in.
First, let me ask you a question. What would you do with $100 million? After successfully building and selling both Zip2 and PayPal, Elon Musk had essentially secured this massive personal fortune. Most people, right, they'd have retired comfortably, sitting on a beach somewhere, just enjoying the rest of their lives. But Musk, he looked at the landscape of human progress and decided to risk it all on seemingly impossible industries. We're talking space exploration, renewable energy, and transportation. He absolutely wasn't looking for a safe bet. He was looking to solve humanity's biggest problems.
Okay, let's jump to Section 1, the true founders. And spoiler alert, it's probably not who you think.
We really need to clear up a massive, widely held misconception right out of the gate. Elon Musk didn't actually start Tesla. I know, that's a shocking fact for a lot of folks who naturally assume he birthed the company from scratch. But the reality? Tesla was actually founded in 2003 by two men named Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. They had this very simple yet incredibly revolutionary goal. They wanted to build an electric sports car that people actually wanted to drive, completely flipping the script on what an EV could even be.
So the crucial point in this timeline is really what happens in 2004. Musk discovers the company, immediately sees the massive potential, and injects millions of dollars of his own money into their vision. Bam! He instantly becomes Tesla's largest shareholder. This single investment fundamentally shifted the trajectory of his life and the company forever. But as you'll see, being the top shareholder in a revolutionary startup is a long way from a smooth ride, which leads us right into the brutal year of 2008.
Section 2, the impossible bet, gasoline versus electric.
Entering the automotive market as a brand new startup is literally a graveyard for entrepreneurs. Tesla was up against a hugely entrenched perception. At the time, electric vehicles were widely considered slow, ugly, and just entirely impractical. Gasoline was king, and most experts believed gas cars would dominate the roads forever. But Musk's grand vision, it wasn't just about making a slightly better car. He was looking at a total paradigm shift across space, renewable energy, and transportation. He saw this massive opportunity that the established auto giants were just completely ignoring.
Now, the plan to build a high-performance electric sports car, the Roadster, well, it sounded simple enough on paper, but the reality was brutal. Production delays immediately piled up, which caused costs to completely explode, totally destroying their original budgets. Add in mounting engineering problems that seemed to multiply by the day, and suddenly you have some very terrified investors. Naturally, the media descended, heavily criticizing the company and eagerly predicting its rapid demise, so yeah, the odds were heavily stacked against them from day one.
Moving to Section 3, the 2008 crisis, staring right into the abyss.
Things went from bad to completely catastrophic. It's 2008, and the global financial crisis hits the world economy like a freight train. Investors absolutely freeze their spending. Businesses are collapsing left and right, banks are failing globally, and right in the middle of this perfect storm, Tesla's burning through cash at an incredibly rapid rate. To make matters even more intense, Musk is simultaneously trying to fund SpaceX, which is also struggling terribly. Both companies are just inches away from running out of money. Many insiders were absolutely terrified of complete bankruptcy. This led to a staggering reality. Musk had a tough choice: protect whatever personal wealth he had left, or try to save his companies. He chose the second option, risking absolute personal ruin. He invested nearly everything he had remaining into the businesses. It got so bad that he reportedly had to borrow money just to cover his own personal living expenses. That right there shows the incredible emotional and financial toll of this era. He just refused to let his companies die, doing what very few entrepreneurs would ever dare to do.
All right, Section 4, the Model S breakthrough, saving the company.
Thankfully, right as the company approached the very brink of collapse, a last-minute investment round arrived just in the nick of time. It saved them from complete bankruptcy and gave them the chance to release the Model S. Up to this point, whenever a company teased a new EV, the public expected another weak, compromised, impractical car. Instead, Tesla delivered long battery range, stunning high-level performance, true luxury features, and highly advanced tech. For the very first time, an electric car didn't just match traditional gas vehicles, it looked vastly superior. Customers loved it, and suddenly, the whole world started paying really close attention.
Section 5. Building a Tech Empire. going way beyond vehicles.
Surviving and making a great car was honestly just step one. To win against massive legacy automakers who were producing millions of cars a year with decades of experience, Tesla had to evolve. They shifted from just selling cars to selling a broader vision of a future powered by sustainable energy. They expanded heavily into proprietary battery tech, solar energy, artificial intelligence, self-driving systems, and large-scale energy storage solutions. They fundamentally transformed from a traditional automaker into a massive tech behemoth. And this distinction was everything. It totally changed how investors viewed them, valuing them not as a car company, but as a technology empire shaping the future.
Which brings us to Section 6, the ultimate lesson, vision and action. So, what do we actually take away from this turbulent journey? It's really tempting to think Tesla succeeded purely because of their technology. But the real secret is much deeper. It's about constant innovation, massive, calculated risk-taking, building a powerfully strong brand, unwavering long-term thinking, and just relentless execution. While all their traditional competitors were entirely focused on protecting their existing, outdated business models, Tesla focused literally all of their energy on creating the future.
And that brings us to this really powerful quote direct from the source material. Successful entrepreneurs often act despite uncertainty. The biggest lesson here isn't actually about cars at all. It's about vision. Most people wait for sure thing, right? They wait for perfect certainty before taking action. But behind this billion-dollar success story are years of massive risk, severe doubt, relentless media criticism, huge financial crises, production problems, and just pure stubborn persistence. They kept moving forward when almost anyone else would have just packed it in.
Which leaves us with this final thought to reflect on as we wrap up this explainer. What is possible when you act despite uncertainty? We've just traced a historic journey from a guaranteed, mocked failure to a global empire that changed history. The next time you see a Tesla driving down the road, remember the impossible odds it overcame to get there. Because the next great business lesson might be hiding inside the world's biggest success stories. It really makes you wonder, what incredible future is waiting on the other side of your own uncertainty? Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.